Ladies and gentlemen, I am recording this video right now in my hotel room in Las Vegas at the Palms, and I just left Smila Sundell's debut fight in mixed martial arts. And there are a lot of things that I want to talk about and break down in this video, but this is literally the view from my seat. I was sitting in the front row of the kind of like, there were like two rows of what's it called, floor seats, but I was so close to the cage. I had an amazing view, so I wanted to film the whole fight. So we're gonna go through and talk about her, Smila Sundell, and how amazing she is as we kind of play this. And I'm going to jump around a little bit, but this fight was absolutely incredible. She put on a clinic. It was complete one-way traffic, and she got the finish. She got a TKO in round one with like 4 minutes and change. Now, I will say that it seemed like her opponent was picked as somebody who wasn't going to engage in the wrestling because she didn't really try. She tried to stand up and bang with Smila the entire time, which was, as you could imagine, a huge mistake. Smila was faster. Smila was way more accurate. Her accuracy was just picture perfect. Her striking technique was beautiful. People in the crowd around me was in awe of Smila. And on top of it, to boot, she is only 21 years of age. She also mentioned in her victory speech after the fight, like, wow, MMA is such a different sport than Muay Thai and kickboxing. So she's obviously been putting in the work, it sounds like. Now, we didn't get to see if she has developed good grappling, good takedown defense or whatnot, because as I mentioned, her opponent, Barber, literally didn't even try to take her down once. So that's still a question, but I have to believe with how famous she is, with the hype behind her, I'm sure she's got an amazing team, that she is drilling that 24/7. We do have to talk about the weight, though. She fought at her weight was 146.8 pounds. So I know she was previously fighting at 125, and I had heard in the comments that she stopped competing at 125 because she had difficulty making that weight. This wasn't even 135. This was 146.8. I imagine the two just agreed on not doing a heavy weight cut, is my assumption. But that's the only thing that's giving me a little bit of concern about her future in the UFC. But I have to believe she'll be able to eventually cut down to 135 and fight in that division alongside the likes of Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes, etc. So anyways, just want to throw that out there at the beginning. But let's watch some of this footage, because she just put on an absolute clinic. And as you can see, there's Smila Sundell on the right-hand side, the taller fighter, of course. And now she's kind of moving in, starting to engage. And you're going to see in a moment here, just she starts to light up Barber as she starts to get a feel. So even there, Barber's trying to get a feel on that jab, trying to measure the distance. Obviously, Smila with the longer limbs, she had that range advantage to a massive extent. There she goes, throwing up a teep, but not with really any commitment. Boom. And there you see the way she whips her. You see that speed. Look at that. Look at how fast her hands are. This is something that I noticed when I was watching a lot of her Muay Thai footage, is that she's a really, really crisp boxer. There she throws up a kick, a head kick, but looks like she just narrowly missed. Some nice work into the leg kicks as well. Boom. See, and she just throws punches and bunches. You know what was amazing is the fight right prior to this was two guys. Actually, one of the guys I saw fight before, he's a really, really funny dude from Jersey. His opponent was, I think, a striker. Man, I was getting so frustrated. He was very tall and looked like he had good stand-up ability, but it was just like one shot, one elbow, and then back. And kind of watching it, like, look at Smila. The difference of Smila is, look at these, always combos. Throws a left and then throws the high kick on the right-hand side. Boom, there's an overhand right, but she backs away very smoothly. And you can see here, I mean, Barber, she's swinging a miss. She's having no success. Now look at that. Boom, right away. A two-punch combo, misses with that second uppercut, it looked like, from the left hand, but still coming forward, inching forward. And then, oh, boom. And the way she whips those body shots, you see she really like whips her arm into it. Man, she laid down the smack when it came to body shots and body work. Look at that. It's like she swings she swings her hands with hammers. The other cool thing that I noticed was she did really, really good work in the clinch. And of course, Muay Thai fighters, they're clinching all the time. So they know the clinch game, and they know how to throw knees and inflict damage, inflict elbows in the clinch. There's a nice little light leg kick. Boom. You see how she digs into those body shots? You got to give her opponent credit, by the way. Barber, not familiar with her, but I got to say, she is tough as nails. She just took so much damage. It really reminded me of, I think it was the Smiko and Naba fight against Dakota Ditcheva, where Dakota Ditcheva was just teeing off the entire time. That's what this felt like. See Barber there landing a couple leg kicks, but where she really had no answers. The problem is the skill differential plus the speed and the power differential. I mean, it all favored Smila to such an extent. Look at those knees. So she's throwing some, look at those knees to the body. And I mean, those just, oof. I mean, you saw, look at that. She keeled over from that body shot from the left hand, just whipped it in there. Really good work against the cage. So my view's kind of blocked there, but she's just, you can see on the big street, look at that, just digging into the body. And that's one thing too about Smila. You can tell that she's got very high fight IQ. A lot of fighters in that position won't do that. They'll just keep trying to headhunt, but not Smila. She was using all her weapons, trying to find any openings and just continue to lay down the damage. I think this is ultimately what really exhausted Barber as well, because she took so many body shots. Like, see, taking knees like that, etc. Okay, now we're going to move along a little bit because something did happen in the fight, that there was a stop in the action. Actually, it's going to come up pretty soon here, if I'm not mistaken. There was, unfortunately, an eye poke. Now, when we talk about, there's the eye poke right there. So it just happened. Unfortunately, with Muay Thai, kickboxing, etc., you're usually fighting and training in gloves. You don't have fingers. So she has fought in MMA gloves before. But my point is that technique is going to lead fighters, unfortunately, down this path. This is something that they're going to have to correct, something that she's going to have to correct. She got a warning. She didn't get a point taken away. But it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was her right hand coming up and pushing off, and then her left hand came across to the back of a hip, but it looked like it was the right hand that caught her in the eye poke. Now, we're going to fast forward a little bit to when the action resumes. And her opponent, Barber, actually, this is where she did her best work. So she comes back. Let's see. It's right around. Okay, here we go. I think they're right about to engage again. So this is where she lays it on Smila, and I was like, oh, man, is like Barber gonna have some little bit of resurgence? What we're going to see here. Okay, so here we go. Barber comes in. And actually, I like this because this shows that Smila has really, really good composure, which is amazing at the age of 21. So watching that now, she's like, all right, this is my chance. Boom. Just swinging for the fences, walking her down. And she does actually land on Smila a couple times. I think Smila at the end of the fight had a little mark on top of, I think, her left eye. So I think, look, Barber is throwing with ferocity and trying to connect. But maybe it's the body shots. I don't know, a combination of things. But then it looks like Barber she went for it, and then she kind of gassed herself out. Now that she's slowing down, now here's where Smila just goes crazy. Knees, elbows. I mean, that's the thing, too, which really impressed me as well. Diversity of strikes, knees, elbows, head kicks. Lots of body work, and she's throwing regular Muay Thai elbows across, like over top, and then the spear elbows like this as well, and really just jamming them in Barber's face. This is where the referee is watching very closely. Just 27 seconds left in the fight. Unfortunately, my view was kind of blocked here, but Smila is just laying down the damage. And the referee's right about to jump in, because I think Barber, she didn't tap, if I remember this correctly, but she was just like, there was nothing. She was just covered. There he goes. He stops it. It was just an absolute one-way traffic beating. And there she is celebrating. It was so awesome to see this victory. I don't know. It was incredible. And this is what I wanted. That's why I flew to Vegas. I literally flew to Vegas this morning. I'm flying back to LA tomorrow just to see her, because I think she's going to be the future of women's mixed martial arts. There's only one thing that I'm concerned about. Well, let's say two things. Okay. Number one, her grappling didn't get fully tested, but I'm not worried about that because she's got a lot of time to improve in those areas, if that even is a deficit, which I'm not even sure it would be that big of a deficit right now. She's got good takedown defense. If she can ward off the takedowns, work on her jiu-jitsu, etc. She's got years to do that. She's going to be a force to be reckoned with. She's obviously such a phenomenal athlete. So I'm not super worried about that in the long term. The main concern that I'm worried about is the weight. Weighing in at 146.8. Again, is not a big deal if the two agreed to say, hey, we don't want to cut weight. Let's just fight at our natural weights. Okay, cool. That means when it comes to actually fighting at 135, she's got 10, maybe 15 pounds to cut. I think that should be manageable, and that's okay. But my concern is, if that's not the case, then what are we going to do, right? The UFC is not going to create a 145 division, and we need her fighting at 135 at the lightest. I imagine 125 is probably out of the question because she already missed weight at 125 for one of her fights and one championship. So that's the one concern. But I got to say, in terms of the performance, in terms of what I saw in the striking, yo, this is the future right here, guys. This is the future. And I'm proud to say that I was there. I saw it live. in person. It was incredible. I'm an even bigger fan of Smila Sundell. And that's all I got for you guys. So if you guys are already fans of Smila Sundell, she's here. She has arrived. She's part of the mixed martial arts community in the world, and she's going to take over. If you don't know, now you know. Now you can check her out. Now you can follow her. And Tough Enough themselves said during the interview, hey, they're going to have her back. So I imagine she's going to be fighting again in the Tough Enough promotion. That was her first pro fight, first pro win. Now we're going to see how many the UFC is gonna make her rack up before they eventually bring her on either to the Contender Series or bring her straight into the UFC. But yo, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with at 135. Like I said, hopefully that will be in her future. That's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you guys as hyped as I am about Smila Sundell? One of the most exciting female prospects probably in a really long time. One championship Muay Thai champion at 17. Also the one championship kickboxing champ. Now she won her debut fight in dominant fashion. Let's see what she's got. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about Smila Sundell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.